Hi guys, my name is Michael. In this video, we're going to talk about HTML, block elements, and inline elements, the properties and how they behave. Let's go right into it. All the HTML elements can be categorized into two categories: A block element, B, inline elements. Let's talk about block element first. Block element appears on the screen as if they have a line break before and after them. For example, the P tag is a block element, H1 to H6, and the ordered list and unordered list elements are all block elements. They all start on their own new line, and anything that follows them appears on its own new line. Remember, all these tags have their opening and closing tag. So if you see the P tag, just know there's a closing P tag, except some tags that only have opening and no closing tag, and they are called self-closing tag. Here are some more block element tag. You can see we have article, aside, block quotes. Understand how you can use them, the place where you can use them, and how to use them. Block element properties. A block element always starts on a new line. A block element always take up the full width available, stretched out to the left and the right. A block element has a top and a bottom margin, whereas an inline element does not. Okay, now we'll be talking about the inline elements. Inline elements, on the other hand, can appear within sentences and do not have to appear on a new line of their own. Some examples of inline elements are the B and the I and the strong and the... Okay, now we're about to do the practical. So let me show you how it works now. If you notice, I have some text here and my Visual Studio right here, and my Chrome browser is opened. So right now I'm going to put a border lining around here so they can see how this is a block. I'm using a P tag, which is a block element, and I'm going to show you how it works, how it stretches to cover up the 100% of the width. So let me remove this. Okay, so I have my CSS right here in the head, and I'll use outlined solid. So if you notice here, I have a solid outline around the text, and it's taking 100% of the width. So let me increase the height. You can see still 100% of the width. 100%. So if you notice that, imagine if you want to create 3 boxes side by side, you're going to have a little issue doing it because you have to decrease the width of the P tag so that the elements can come side by side each other. So this is an example. So let me show you how a inline element works. Delete tag. These are all examples of inline elements. Inline element properties. An inline element does not start on a new line. An inline element only takes up as much width as necessary. If you notice, an inline element always joins to another element. These are some of the examples of inline elements, like the A tag, which is called the anchor tag. We have the image tag, the input tag. Just take note of them and how to use them. An inline element cannot contain a block level element. Then if you take note, block elements always stack on each other because, well, since the first one has taken 100% of the width, there is no space for the third tag element, P tag element. So they always stack on each other. Okay, right now I'm going to show you how an inline element works. So I'm just going to turn this into an inline element by changing the display type. So if you notice now, the text is now connected to each other. There's no space. They're not just linked together. So we notice now, look at, even when I increase the browser's width, the second line text just joins with the first one. This is the line right here separating them, but it's all just joined together as one. So you notice that they're all joined together, no space. It's functional as one. See? So you notice these are some of the difference of an inline and block elements. Grouping HTML elements. There are two important tags which we use very frequently to group various other HTML tags. One, we have the div and the span tag. The div tag, this is the very important block level tag, which plays a big role in grouping various other HTML tags and applying CSS on group of elements. Even now, div tag can be used to create web page layout where we define different parts, left, right, top of the page using div tag. This tag does not provide any visual change on the block, but this has more meaning when it is used with CSS. Now let's talk about the HTML span tag. The HTML span tag is an inline element and it can be used to group inline elements in an HTML document. This tag also does not provide any visual change on the block, but has more meaning when it is used with CSS. The difference between the span tag and the div tag is that the span tag is used with inline elements, whereas the div tag is used with block level elements. Span element. The span element is an inline container used to mark up a part of a text or a part of a document. The span element has no required attributes, but style, class, and ID are common. When used together with CSS, the span element can be used to style part of a text. Div element. The div element is often used as a container for other HTML elements. The div element has no required attributes, but style, class, and ID are commonly used. When used together with CSS, the div element can be used to style block of contents. We can also use section too. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Hey, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. A quick example on how to use the div class. Right here we have our div. We have the opening and closing tag, wrapping around the h2 and the p paragraph tag. In the div we have a style which changes the background color to black, then the text color to white, and it has a padding of 20 pixels. So this is how you can use a div tag in your HTML on your web page. Now this is an example how you can use a span. A span can work in a text. So maybe you want to style a particular aspect in the text. A span is really great in that, and that's what you can use. So we notice in this example we have mother, which is the p paragraph, and in the tag we are styling a particular text. blue. So we just want to change the styling of the text blue, and we left the remaining eyes and my father as black text. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like